Hi, I'm Bob Hill. I'm the president of the Church of Scientology Mission of Riverdale at 308 Broadview Avenue in Toronto. This is Sunday service number 39. We're climbing. And today I'm going to ask you a simple question. What do you need to have happen to be truly happy? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Today I'm going to give you some answers. Scientology is a practical religion. It teaches a person how to know. That's what the word Scientology means, knowing how to know. Now keep that in perspective, because if you're thinking about how can I know something, you have to realize that you have to look and not think. So you look at something, you can know about it. You got it? Good. So today's sermon is based on the writings of L. Ron Hubbard, From the Way to Happiness, a common sense guide to better living. Happiness is a condition or state of well-being, contentment, pleasure, joyful, untroubled existence, or it's the reaction to having nice things happen to one. There you go. So, let's take a look at this thing called happiness. Happiness lies in engaging in worthwhile activities. So if you want to be happy, you can engage in something that's worthwhile. Maybe today you could smile at someone and say, "Good morning, it's nice to see you." Or you could get up in the morning and your friend is with you, or your spouse, and you could make a nice breakfast. Or you could maybe go out and buy some gifts for someone. These are worthwhile activities. That would make you happy. But there's only one person who for certain can tell what will make one happy. You know who that is? Yourself. It's up to you. Only you can say where the road goes. For one sets his goals for the hour, for the relationship, for the phase of life. So you set the goals, you put things there. You decide, this is where I want to go in the next little while. And you go that way, and you're doing something that's worthwhile, and you achieve that, and you'll feel happy. So you can create your own happiness by working towards your own goals. One can feel at times like a spinning leaf blown along a dirty street. One can feel like a grain of sand stuck in one place. Now, how could that be? Well, you can think. A person's in an activity that they don't feel it's worthwhile. They might feel that it's holding them down, but they keep doing it because they need that paycheck, or they need to make that thing happen, or if they don't do it, they're going to have instability. Well, they're not very happy, and they're stuck in one place. But let's have a look at this. Nobody has said that life was calm and orderly thing. Now, I often get that asked of me, well, you seem pretty calm, so your life must be really in order. Well, to be honest with you, my life is a little wild. I could tell you something about my life. Let's take this morning, all right? This morning I got up at 6:30 in the morning. I took my dog for a walk. I did an exercise program that I have laid out for myself after I had the walk. I made my breakfast, I ate my breakfast, and then I studied a course I was on and completed one entire lesson. And I learned something. And then I sat down, was drinking a coffee, and then I came here to do this Sunday service. Now you could look at that and you could say, oh my God, that's not very calm and peaceful. Well, for me it was calm, but I got done all those things in that period of time and was able to come here. So you could say, well, that's not very calm. Well, for me, as I mentioned, it was calm. So nobody has said that life was calm and an orderly thing. It isn't. One isn't a tattered leaf, nor a grain of sand. One can, to a greater or lesser degree, draw his roadmap and follow it. So you can decide what's going to happen, and you can just go about doing it. And if you follow it, you're going to feel happy. Now, you can say, well, doesn't it have to be really big things in order for me to be happy? No. I did all those things this morning, and I felt quite happy by 10 o'clock. One can feel that things are such now that it is much too late to do anything, that one's past road is so messed up that there's no chance of drawing a future one that will be any different. There is always a point on the road when one can map a new one. So you run around, you see people, they've gone through life and they've had some pitfalls, they've fallen down, maybe they did things that they weren't proud of, and so they think, well, I can never be happy because I'm stuck in that rut and I'm just going to have to keep doing that. Well, that's not necessarily true. One can always put a new roadmap there. One can always change the direction that they're going in. There is no person alive who cannot make a new beginning. Think about that. Even I, myself, at my age, and people in my age can start up new things and create a new beginning. Throughout life, you can keep doing that, and you'll find you can be happy. It can be said without the slightest fear of contradiction that others may mock one and seek by various means to push one onto the verge, to tempt one in various ways to lead an immoral life. All such persons do so to accomplish private ends of their own, and one will wind up, if one heeds them, in tragedy and sorrow. And you've probably seen that, where you're going along in life, somebody says, oh, you should do this, and you should do that, and you're thinking, well, I don't, those deeds aren't necessarily good, and they aren't correct, and I don't feel right about it. But I'm going to do it anyways because, well, that's life. And that's how it is here in this society, and I'm going to have to do it. But you find out you're not very happy. So you do have to watch for that in people convincing you to do things other than what you know in your heart of hearts to be correct. You follow? Good. Now, of course, one will have occasional losses trying to apply the information and get it applied. So you're going to run into losses as you go along. You're going to get banged around. You're going to get pushed around. But you should just learn to carry on. Who said the road doesn't have bumps? It still can be traveled. So people can fall down. Big deal. It doesn't mean they can't get up again and keep going. If one keeps the edges on the road, one can't go far wrong. True excitement, happiness, and joy come from other things, not from broken lives. So don't get caught up in a rut where you're just plugging along, doing things day to day. Put your future there. Look at it. Go towards those goals. There's nothing that says you can't make it. There's only what you say to yourself that tells you can't make it. If you can get others to follow the road, you yourself will be free enough to give yourself a chance to discover what real happiness is. So there's another side to this as well. By you talking to other people and trying to get them to make necessary and sane decisions, you can help them. And by helping them, that helps you along the road to happiness. The way to happiness is a high-speed road to those who know where the edges are. You're the driver. You got it? Farewell. So that's today's sermon, and that was on the way to happiness. So my advice to you is set yourself some worthwhile goals and activities and go for them. take the time to celebrate improvement. So if you have a win, take the time to acknowledge yourself and say, hey, I did that. I have good friends that are trying to change their lives, and they're doing things that are changing their lives, but they don't always acknowledge those small things that they did to create a better effect. And so they find at times they don't feel happy and maybe they're not really making it. But if they would just step back, stop thinking about it, take a look at what they did to improve, even if it's minor, they would probably start to feel happier. So I always try to push them in that direction. So, with that said, I'm going to read to you the prayer for total freedom. May the author of the universe enable all men to reach an understanding of their spiritual nature. May awareness and understanding of life expand so that all may come to know the author of the universe. And may others also reach this understanding, which brings total freedom. At this time, we think of those whose liberty is threatened, of those who have suffered imprisonment for their beliefs, of those who are enslaved or martyred, and for all those who are brutalized, trapped, or attacked. We pray that human rights will be preserved, so that all people may believe and worship freely, so that freedom will once again be seen in our land. Freedom from war and poverty and want, freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to have. Freedom to use and understand man's potential, a potential that is God-given and God-like, and freedom to achieve that understanding and awareness that is total freedom. May God let it be so. Learn more about how to be happy by reading The Way to Happiness to help yourself and others. Join us next Sunday for more ways to improve life. And have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.